Welcome to The Impossible Shift, the podcast where we explore how small shifts in perception can create extraordinary transformation. I'm your host, Jennifer, author, storyteller, and believer that the most powerful change begins from within. Each week, we'll unpack one of the core pillars that shape this journey, from confidence and abundance to possibility and transformation. Together, we'll uncover how seeing yourself differently can open doors you once thought were impossible. So take a deep breath, open your mind, and let's begin the impossible shift. There are moments in life that divide everything into before and after. For me, one of those moments came the day my leg and arm suddenly became very heavy. I remember feeling confused and afraid and very alone. I didn't know what was happening, but I knew something wasn't right, so I drove myself to urgent care hoping for answers. Instead, everything moved faster than I could process. They told me they believed I was having a stroke. They called an ambulance, and suddenly I wasn't in control anymore. The ambulance arrived, and I remember how overwhelming it felt. Everything was happening so quickly. One moment I was walking into urgent care, and the next I was being loaded into an ambulance, unsure of what my future might look like. At the hospital, I was admitted, and then came the words that truly shook me. I would need rehabilitation. I would have to learn how to walk again. And I remember when they brought out the walker and told me it was mine to keep. It felt heavy in more ways than one. Holding it, I couldn't imagine how I was going to do this. I had no confidence. My mind immediately went to the worst case scenario. What if I never walk again? It was one of the most terrifying moments of my life, but something unexpected happened when I returned home. I wasn't alone. My family surrounded me. They didn't rush me. They didn't demand progress. They simply helped me move 1 inch at a time. At first, it was barely anything, just a small shift, a tiny movement. But then the inch became a few inches. The few inches became lifting my leg. Lifting my leg became my first step. One step became several steps. And eventually, I was walking again. I even remember the moment I was able to take real steps, walking up and down the stairs. It felt impossible just days before. And what made the difference wasn't strength. It wasn't determination alone. It was support. I was surrounded by people who loved me, people who believed I could do it, even when I didn't believe in myself. They made sure I had what I needed. They stood beside me during one of the hardest moments of my life. And that's when I realized something important. Sometimes the impossible shift isn't about doing it alone. Sometimes it's about accepting help. Sometimes strength isn't standing on your own. It's allowing others to hold you up until you can stand again. Because healing, growth, transformation, they don't always happen in isolation. Sometimes you walk again because someone else is willing to walk beside you. And that was my impossible shift. Thank you for joining me on The Impossible Shift. Remember, the world mirrors what you believe about yourself. As you explore these pillars, notice how even the smallest perceptual change can create a ripple in every area of your life. You already have everything you need to make the impossible possible. It all starts with how you choose to see yourself. If this episode inspired you, share it with someone who's ready for their own shift. And until next time, keep believing in what's possible.